welcome to Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs, and today I just wanted to take a minute and kind of dissect the Blues series against the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche knocking the Blues out in 6 games on Friday night. Before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, find us on Facebook, and find us on Instagram. Guys, Friday night, Blues knocked out of the Stanley Cup Playoffs in the most gut-wrenching way possible, leading most of the game. Colorado, a go-ahead goal, 5.6 seconds left to play. Those 5.6 seconds, the only time where Colorado led in the entire game. So that's just brutal to watch. And it comes down to goaltending, and this was a theme throughout the series with Colorado. The ups and downs of the Blues goaltending. Game 1, the Blues were manhandled. That's just the only way to describe it. They were manhandled, and Jordan Binnington stole them the opportunity to win it in overtime. And then he was good in Game 2, the only game where the Blues controlled the play. Game 3, the injury, Nazem Kadri, all that, and then Ville Husso came in and yes, he did not play well the entire series until Game 6. And I'll talk about that in a minute. You look at the way Ville Husso played and the way the Blues played in front of him. I think that's important to consider. The team looked defeated in every aspect of the game. As soon as Jordan Binnington was out, the team was deflated. The whole arena, all of Enterprise Center, was holding their breath like, uh-oh, we're in real trouble. That was just the vibe. It changed. Before Ville Husso had a chance to do anything, everybody had, in my mind, a bit of a defeatist attitude, which faded as the series went on. And it's unfortunate because Ville Husso did get better, and then in Game 6, he was actually good. 36 saves on 39 shots. You can argue the second and third goals were kind of weak, but when you're making that many saves, it's hard to get too mad, right? So that's something the Blues are going to have to consider. Jordan Binnington under contract, and if he can keep what he found in the postseason, Blues are good to go for at least one of the goalie spots. He played at an all-star level during the playoffs. Binnington did. It's a matter of what do you do with Ville Husso in terms of a contract when you look to the offseason. Is he the guy who had an 85% save percentage for most of the playoffs? Or is he the guy who played in Game 6 and kind of kept the Blues in the game a lot of the time? That's something the Blues are just going to have to, they'll have metrics and practices and all that to look at, but at the end of the day, they're going to have to make a guess, basically. I think for the Blues, you have to consider, one, Vladimir Tarasenko did not show up in this series. I was going to say the same about Jordan Kyrou, at least after the first couple of games, but he stepped up as the series went on, 4 goals in the 6 games, so I can't argue with that. That he played well as the series went on. Tarasenko, not so. 6 games, 3 points, 1 goal. Not good enough. Nowhere near good enough. That's all there is to it. He vanished. He disappeared. That's unacceptable. It's weak. And if the Blues are going to make noise in the playoffs, they need more out of Vladimir Tarasenko. So, that'll be interesting to see. I think the Blues would like to avoid trading him, especially after that performance, because his value probably went down, honestly. Oh, great. He can score at will against terrible teams, but then come playoff time, he disappears. What good is that? If you're talking to any sort of contending team, that's going to drop the value, at least potentially. Yeah, as for the Blues, looking to the offseason and building the roster for next season, I think you have to consider the Blues are, in my mind, they're kind of changing their philosophy and the way they play. The team that won the 2019 Stanley Cup was a grind-it-out, beat-you-down kind of team. And the Blues have more skill players now who are, they're a little quicker, not gonna just grind it out and beat you down as much. But it's not been a full transition to being like a speed, skill type of team. We saw this in action because Colorado is a very fast team. They are much faster than the Blues. And that's something the Blues are going to have to account for, looking to the Stanley Cup playoffs in the next few seasons. They're going to have to figure out some way to account for the Colorado Avalanche being so much faster, because the Avalanche are good, and you have to assume that somewhere down the road you're going to play them, particularly in the second round. Given the structure of the playoffs, that's a very possible scenario for years to come. So you have to account for that. You have to decide, I think, what kind of team, what's the philosophy going forward? Is it going to be more of a transition towards speed, or is it going to be kind of a hybrid? And if hybrid is going to be, kind of the old beat you down, grind it out, and some skill, you got to have one or two guys, I think, who are just speed demons, who are faster, can handle the puck. I think you need a little bit more of that. That's really all I've got. Disappointing end to the season for the Blues for sure, but the Blues are contenders. They look like contenders, and they're not that far off from being true contenders for the Stanley Cup. Thanks for checking out this video. Hope to see you all next time.